The University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh Fox Cities campus assists the City of Menasha with video recordings of city meetings. Menasha residents and interested parties can get information about city meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents from the city website, www.cityofmenasha-wi.gov. To express opinions about City of Menasha issues or these broadcasts, contact the Mayor's office, 920-967-3608. Contact a city alderman. Contact information appears on the website. Or complete the electronic feedback form on the city website. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited.
Okay, with that, we'll call the City of Menasha Common Council meeting to order. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we could have the roll, please.
Alderman Schmidt. Here. Alderman Rapella. Here. Alderman Nichols. Here. Alderman Eisenack. Here. Alderman Sevenik. Here. Alderman Hammond. Here. All are present with the absence of Alderman Tom Grady and Ted Grady.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda this evening is the report of department head, staff, and consultants. We have the minutes and communications to approve. Alderman Sevenik.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'd like for us to approve minutes A through G and communications H through K.
Is there a second? It's a motion and a second by Alderman Schmidt. Do we have discussion? Well, since no one's going to discuss, I'd just like to thank Chief Steika for his time here with the city. We have through January yet, but Tim has announced his retirement, and I really want to thank you for all the great things we did together and the growth of the police department under your tenure, and we'll probably have the same discussion again in January. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor? Aye. Are there any opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Item F is public comments. Is there anyone who wishes to make a public comment this evening?
Sandra DeVille Taylor, 545 Broad Street. I don't know if this is recording or not, but my suggestion was going to be that either using funds from the franchise fees is what I think we've been using in the past for televising the meetings with the American Rescue Act funds, that we have not had a meeting to discuss what to do with those funds for a very long time. Some money was allocated to the police department and to IT, and there has been talk of designating some to the park board or park for Jefferson Park Playground, but I don't believe that was ever official. It's imperative that the public have an opportunity to weigh in, and during COVID, that was not the case. And numbers are still fluctuating. There are things that come up that we never know what's around the corner, but having televised meetings is a transparent way to communicate with the public. And if the same situations arise, I would strongly suggest considering using some of those funds to purchase new equipment. Then, on to the rest of the agenda, I did have a quick question on the check register, page 2. There are 2 payments totaling $12,000 to the Fox Cities Chamber. This is part of an ongoing commitment that the city has made. My understanding, what I thought was being done was that one payment would be made and then it was going to be reconsidered before the second payment was made. And here we have 2 checks totaling the total of payment. So I had to question if we forgot about that or if everyone's happy. I've never been happy with this. I don't think we are getting our bang for the buck out of it, but that's my personal opinion. Then I wanted to jump to the administration committee because there's no opportunity for public comment. The Sustainability Board has revised the ordinance. The majority of it is fine. The one that I have a very big problem with is that they are looking to include members on the board, voting members, that do not live in the city of Menasha. They could be property owners, landlords, as well as people that work here or go to school here. The Sustainability Board currently calls in experts in their field, whether it's the Bike Federation or Backyard Chicken People or East Central Wisconsin Regional Planning, and they can give their input and they can give their opinion, but they shouldn't be voting members. I've said we have a population of over 18,000 people. Last Tuesday, the primary election, primaries are not very popular. There were almost 2,999 votes were tallied. So that's 3,000 people. The mayor should have ample opportunity to reach out and have members from residents on these boards. He does not need to look outside the city of Menasha. We already have a problem with staff not living in the city. Let's not make it worse. Then, seeing how I'm not very popular, I noticed also on the park board, the mayor has again selected a member. I'm just curious how long that person has been on the list. And how many people are on the list that have been wanting to be on the park board. If anyone else has been overlooked other than myself, which has been like 10 years. And then, lastly, communications. At the last meeting, a gentleman had come before the council regarding a code enforcement issue. He had apparently emailed the council an email and had photographs available, and Alderman Sevenik at that time requested that that be in your packet for tonight. It's not. And whether Alderman Sevenik retracted his request, I don't know, but I would say that I'm assuming the mayor pulled it or decided not to put it in. Per the League of Wisconsin Municipalities, the mayor does not have the authority to set the agenda. Wisconsin Opens Meeting Law and Wisconsin Stats 19-84 does not vest the presiding officer, the mayor, with the power to set the agenda of the body because the plain meaning of the statute only empowers the presiding officer to describe the agenda, not set it. Section Wisconsin Stat 6209 does not give either official authority to set the agenda for their council or village board because the plain language of the provision only grant the authority to act during the meeting of the body. Robert's Rule of Order does not vest the presiding officer with the power to set the agenda for the body or assembly since the rules do not explicitly or inexplicitly direct such activity. So, you as council members, if you want something on the agenda, you can place it on the agenda and the mayor does not have the authority to remove it. Thank you.
Just so everyone knows, I did contact Alderman Sevenik. Essity would like to make a comment as well regarding that discussion point, and those items will be on the next agenda. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak this evening? Did you wish to speak, sir? Or? No? Okay. See.
Seeing you took the liberty of addressing that, I just want to say too that the mayor did contact me on that, and I was okay with it appearing, and I appreciate you bringing that forward and kind of being the eyes of the city on that, and that it will appear on the next agenda because we're going to be discussing and being more active in that particular issue on that date. Thank you.
So seeing no one else, we'll move on to the consent agenda. There are 3 items. Does anyone wish to have them separated this evening? Alderman Sevenik?
I'm just going to go through them all. There's only 3.
Okay.
So Mayor, at this time, I'd like for us to approve the common council minutes of 8/1/22.
Is there a second? There's a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Alderman Nichols.
Thank you, Mayor. Under roll call, item C, it is listed that I was present at that meeting, and I was not. So let the minutes reflect that I was not present. Thank you.
And spirit, you were all right.
I appreciate it.
Did you make any motions, though? Okay. We'll make that correction. Anything else? Seeing nothing, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 2 is the Labor Day Parade. Alderman Seven.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'd like for us to approve the street use application for this coming Labor Day Parade, Monday, September 5th, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., not p.m. And again, that's for the Fox Valley Area Labor Council.
There's a motion and a second by Alderman Schmidt. Just a note for everyone, we will be having, I don't know if you call it a float, we'll be having 2 public works vehicles, one from Nina, one from Menasha. And aldermen are welcome to walk along with. We do give out candy, so bring your goodie bag along with you as well if you wish to come with. We'll give you a piece, Stan, but you need to hand out equal numbers to the kids along the way. All those in, we had motion and a second. All those in favor? Are there any opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Item 3 is a certified survey map for Georgetown Place. Do we have a motion? Alderman Schmidt?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the certified survey map for the lot reconfiguration, 2973 to 2985 Georgetown Place, parcels number 7-01700-51, 7-0170050, and 7-0170049, and lastly 7-0170048.
Is there a second? There's a motion and a second by Alderman Rapella. Any discussion?
I believe one of those zeros was an O. I'm just kidding, man.
I don't think they are, because I
There are a lot of them there.
there's a lot of zeros in there.
Seeing no further discussion, if we could have a roll call vote, please.
Motion carries 6-0.
Item I is action items. The first is the accounts payable and payroll. Do we have a motion? Alderman Nichols?
Thank you, Mayor. Move to approve the accounts payable and payroll for the term of July 29th through August 11th, 2022, in the amount of $4,425,907.40.
There's a motion and a second by Alderman Rapella. Is there any questions? Alderman Seven.
Thank you, Mayor. There was a question. Jennifer, I'm sure you're ready to address that one, seeing Sandra had asked about page 2, the 12,000.
That was the full payment for the year, I believe.
Yeah. We're not paying 18 then,
No,
or 17 or whatever.
no, the invoice was for 12,000.
Okay, thank you. Does that help? Oh, just one. All right, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Jennifer.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I
Alderman
can-
Rapella?
Yeah, thank you. Jennifer, what do they do to earn that 12,000 from us?
Well, they do come in, so usually like the spring of the year and kind of give their annual report, if you will. But it is in the budget.
Okay,
This is for the regional partnership,
okay,
and the regional partnership attracts new businesses to the Fox Cities. It also works on developing talent in the Fox Cities, so they go out and recruit college students to come back to the Fox Cities to work here at some of the major corporations in the area. They do things with the school districts and talk and show them about different types of careers that they could pursue.
okay,
I'm probably missing something else, but in general,
okay.
that's what they do.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Did I miss something else, Dan?
I don't know if you had said it or not, but they also work to retain
Yes.
companies in this area so that, for instance, if they're looking to possibly move to, say, Michigan or something, they'll work on our behalf to recruit them to stay here and find incentives for them to do that. So it has been somewhat worthwhile. There's been a lot of questions about them in the past. We actually, they usually ask for $1 per person that lives in the city. And that's why probably that's why she was thinking it was 2 payments. But I think that also has something to do with us having a seat on that board or something. And
There is a way to have a seat that rotates throughout the different communities that pay into it. The retention visits aren't just for companies, though, that have announced that they're thinking about leaving. We have retention visits with a percentage of our corporations within the city each year. So Sam goes to those along with the chamber, sometimes along with WPPI, and they talk to those employers, usually the major employers, about how their business is going, what things they need to see in order to grow, what challenges they're having, and then we look to see if we can help them with any of those items, or if the state can help them with any of those items, or the utilities sometimes.
And the reason I'm still very much in favor of this is because we're short-staffed here with community development, and there's a lot of these things we don't have time to do, and here's a resource that can do this for us. So until we start getting the type of staff they have in Appleton and other communities, this is good for the city of Menasha.
Okay, this was all on accounts payable. Seeing no other discussion, could we have a roll call vote on that, please?
Motion carries 6-0.
Item 2 is the beverage operators applications, and we do have an application for Mr. Ronald Gordon, that is deferred by the police department, so the city council would be able to make the decision if that license should be granted. I don't know if you are Mr. Gordon. I don't know if you'd like to make a comment at the beginning, or if you'd like to take questions from the common council. If you want to make a comment, I need you to come up to the microphone though, please.
Ronald Gordon, 725 and a half Second Street. I guess the only comment I'd like to make, referring to the felony, is I had broken my back in the day and I fell behind on child support, and technically you miss 160 days in a row with the felony. And to speak on it, I'm back paying, nothing alcohol related, violent or anything like that. That's all I need to say.
Okay. We might have questions, but we'll see how this goes. Sure. Alderman Nichols?
Thank you, Mayor. My question is for either the interim city attorney or Police Chief Stajka. Typically in the past, when we encounter a felony that is a certain number of years ago, for example, this one is 7 years ago, there are extra considerations given to those. So if someone could address that for us, that would be helpful.
I'm not sure what you mean by extra consideration. The statute indicates that unless the felony is pardoned, there is still the consideration of whether or not the facts of that felony are substantially related to the licensed activity. So that's a decision that the council will have to make in determining whether to issue the license.
And in regards to the number of years
Well,
ago that the violation occurred?
that's something the council's going to have to consider. There's nothing statutory about a number of years.
Okay, thank you.
Chief, did you care to comment on any of that as well? No? Alderman Sevenick?
I'm trying to find the application.
I was going to say, go all the way to the end and go backwards.
I got it. So the city council has their own rules on this, and in most cases, you kind of act like a judge in a way, and we look at your circumstance. And like Alderman Nichols stated, the felony was some time ago. You explained your position on that, And to me, the issue is not alcohol related. So therefore, at this time, I'm going to make a motion that, is it Gordon Ronald? Is that your name?
Ronald Gordon.
Ronald Gordon? Oh, last name first, okay. Ronald, okay. Receive his license.
Is there a second? It's a motion and a second by Alderman Schmidt. Alderman Eisenrock?
I would like to abstain from voting due to me having a liquor license, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing no further discussion, if we could have a roll call vote, please.
Motion carries 5-0.
So, Mr. Gordon, the clerk's office should be in touch with you then in the next couple days, and then you can pick up your license at that point. You're welcome. Item L is appointments. The first is the appointment to the Park and Rec Board. Is there a motion? Alderman Sevenick?
I'll move for your appointment of Eli Wickman to the Park Board, Park and Rec Board for the term of 8/15/22 to 10/1/24.
Is there a second? So a motion and a second by Alderman Schmidt. Any discussion? Alderman Sevenick?
I appreciate Eli wanting to serve. I also take Alderman, I say Alderman because I worked with both her husband and her brother-in-law, Mrs. Taylor. She has asked to be on committees for several years. She's very knowledgeable, and I think at some point, Mayor, you should be appointing Sandra to one of the committees. But again, Eli, thank you for wanting to serve. Appreciate it, and hopefully everyone will vote for this.
Alderman Repella?
Thank you, Mayor. I guess I just have a little concern. I mean, I appreciate, Eli, that was well-written, so that was extremely well-written letter. I just, a third of my life, I went to one Park and Rec Board meeting. I just think that there's people that have been wanting to be on some of these committees. I'll probably use Sandra as an example. And sometimes maybe the people that we get on these committees are sought out because they have the same beliefs and that would like to be utilized on the committee, so that they agree with what decisions are being made. So I think some different people on that committee or whatever, wannabes, would rock the boat. So I think we eliminate the rock the boaters and we just keep the yes men. So I'm a little, Eli, with your letter here, I'm hoping you'll do a great job with that. I do know that, I know you live in the old Jabwabney house. I used to live just 4 houses away. And you fixed the house up, right? On 10th Street, 710th Street. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I figured you'd know where you lived. Okay. We do have an alderman. Okay. So I guess that's all I got to say, but I just wish a different process was being utilized. Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor? Are there any opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Congratulations, Eli. Item, I kind of figured that's why Stan wanted to appoint him, because he wore a tie. Item 2 is an appointment to the Committee on Aging. Alderman Nichols.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to move to approve the mayor's appointment of Ann Anderson to the Committee on Aging for the term of August 15th, 2022 through February 1st, 2025.
Is there a second? So motion and a second by Alderman Schmidt. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Are there any opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Congratulations, Ann. Item N is public comments on any matter that was listed on the agenda. Does anyone have public comments?
Manager Bill Taylor, 545 Broad Street. First, I just wanted to comment regarding the check register question I had for the economic development arm of the Fox Cities Chamber. There are new people on the council. This committee or this board was established roughly 10 years ago. At that time, they wanted every community in the Fox Valley to contribute an amount equal to their population. It was, as both Alderman Sevenick and the mayor described, a regional idea to generate and market the Fox River Valley. Over the years, many of the directors stepped down. There was a lot of fluctuation going on. For a while, the city of Appleton did not even participate, and yet Menasha kept putting in the dollars. And historically, Menasha has not really received much out of it because most economic development is going towards your rural towns, Grand Chute, Fox Crossing, and areas where there's opportunity for growth. We do not have that. So all we can really rely on is retaining our businesses, yet such as Faith Technologies built out in Harrison. So over the years, members of the council have been concerned about this amount of dollars being designated, and that's why I brought it up. Because at one time, they were, okay, we'll give them half, and then halfway through the year, we'll reevaluate and pay the other half. That's why I was questioning we are doing the full payment now. Thank you. Then secondly, I want to just thank the members that did speak up regarding the appointment. Again, this has nothing to do with Mr. Wickman. This has to do with the thousands of people in the city of Menasha that who knows how many people are on various lists waiting their turn to be on a committee. And maybe they don't have the same idea that the mayor has. Maybe they have better ideas than the mayor has. But having a varied group and varied ideas only makes a committee stronger than everybody having the same thought. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak this evening? Go ahead.
Hi, Eli Wickman, 710th Street. I would just like to thank the council for the appointment. And to the point of where are the people applying, reaching out, people who may be on lists, to, I guess, not necessarily in my defense, but where are they right now? I've come to a couple of these meetings right now, not a lot of new faces showing up, not a lot of people expressing interest, not a lot of people reaching out. And I've heard people talk to a bunch of people around town about getting interested. I've got a lot of like, yeah, I'm really excited to do that, and then just no-shows. I think rewarding people for their due diligence of going through the effort in doing that is more encouraged than saying, I want this, and then just leaving it at that. So, again, thank you for the appointment.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Seeing no one, I'll accept a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
The University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh Fox Cities campus assists the city of Menasha with video recordings of city meetings. Menasha residents and interested parties can get information about city meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents from the city website, www.cityofmenasha-wi.gov. To express opinions about City of Menasha issues or these broadcasts, contact the mayor's office, 920-967-3608. Contact a city alderman. Contact information appears on the website. Or complete the electronic feedback form on the city website. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited.